Welcome to the Ultimate General Hospital channel. Secrets explode, lives change, and shocking twists await in Port Charles. Subscribe now and never miss the drama. I remember how she has always fought fiercely for what she believes is right, even when her methods stray into dangerous territory. The latest developments feel like a natural evolution of her character, yet they also introduce fresh complications that keep me guessing every single day. What struck me most in the recent episode was the moment Ethan, injured and losing blood, let slip that Phoebe is not his daughter. I could almost feel Ava's mind racing as she kept him talking. She has always been sharp, and this revelation seems to have ignited something deep within her. As someone who has followed her journey through heartbreak and triumph, I believe Ava cannot simply let this go. She has been through too much deception in her life to ignore a confession like that. It makes perfect sense that she would start piecing together the truth about Phoebe's parentage. In my view, this obsession stems not just from curiosity, but from a protective instinct that has defined so much of Ava's story over the years. I find myself wondering whether Ava will truly go through with a secret DNA test. From what we have seen, she appears ready to secure something carrying Phoebe's DNA and something of Ethan's as well. It is a bold move, one that fits her resourceful nature. I can picture her carefully planning each step, making sure no one suspects her intentions. If the test confirms that Ethan is not Phoebe's biological father, it would change everything we thought we knew about their connection. I have always appreciated how General Hospital uses these scientific revelations to shift family dynamics in unexpected ways. It reminds me of other classic storylines where hidden truths reshaped entire legacies. Of course, I worry that this risky plan could backfire terribly. Ava has always been clever, but sometimes her determination leads her into situations that spiral beyond her control. What if the evidence falls into the wrong hands? That possibility keeps me awake at night, thinking about the coming episodes. I have seen it happen before on the show. Secrets meant to stay hidden suddenly become weapons for others to use. It would not surprise me if someone with their own agenda discovers what Ava is doing and uses it against her or against Ethan. This kind of tension is exactly why I have stayed loyal to General Hospital for so long. The stakes always feel personal. I also sense that a new layer of trouble is brewing from the renewed interactions between Ava and Ethan. Their recent encounters already carry so much intensity, and if they continue spending time together while she investigates, it could spark an explosion of emotions and conflicts. Perhaps old feelings or resentments will resurface, complicating her search for the truth even further. I have my own theory here, one that might differ from what the writers originally planned. I believe Ava's growing obsession with Phoebe's true parentage might actually force her to confront unresolved issues from her own past. It is almost as if the show is reminding us that no one in Port Charles can truly escape their history. Let me share something from my perspective as a longtime viewer. I think Ethan's attempt to dismiss his confession as delirious rambling will fail completely with Ava. She is far too perceptive for that. Instead of backing down, she will press forward carefully, which adds such delicious suspense. Will she succeed in confirming the truth without anyone noticing? Or will her actions invite danger into her life once again? These are the questions I keep asking myself while waiting for the next episode. It creates that wonderful feeling of excitement that only this show can deliver after all these years. The possibility that Phoebe's real father might soon arrive in town has me particularly intrigued. There are hints that someone from Ethan's past could be the one to shake things up and even force him to leave Port Charles. I have always enjoyed when familiar faces return because they bring decades of history with them. It feels like the show is setting the stage for major confrontations that could redefine relationships we have come to know so well. In my opinion, this development would be a perfect way to explore themes of identity and belonging that have always resonated with loyal viewers like myself. What I appreciate most about these storylines is how they balance risk with hope. Even though Ava's plan carries significant danger, I cannot help but root for her to uncover the truth. She deserves some clarity after everything she has endured. At the same time, I recognize that her choices might create new problems for everyone involved, especially if the DNA evidence ends up in the wrong hands. This duality makes the narrative so rich and engaging. I often discuss these possibilities with friends who have watched just as long as I have, and we all agree that the summer episodes promise to deliver some of the most compelling drama in recent memory. As Ava and Ethan's interactions continue to evolve, I suspect we will see even more explosive moments. Their complicated history adds so much depth to every conversation and glance between them. I wonder if this renewed closeness will make Ava question her own motives, or if it will strengthen her resolve. Either way, it feels like the show is building towards something significant. I have learned over the decades that General Hospital rarely leaves loose ends untied for long, and this situation seems primed for major revelations. Looking ahead, I feel a genuine sense of warmth and excitement for what is coming. The writers have a wonderful way of making us care deeply about these characters, even when they make questionable decisions. Ava's determination to handle this matter herself reflects her strength, yet it also shows her vulnerability. That combination is what keeps me returning to Port Charles week after week. I believe many longtime fans share this feeling. We want to see Ava find answers, but we also hope she avoids unnecessary pain in the process. The way the story is unfolding reminds me why soap operas like General Hospital remain so special. They mirror real life in their messiness while offering the thrill of watching beloved characters navigate impossible choices. I am particularly curious to see how Phoebe fits into all of this as more truths emerge. Will she be caught in the middle of these adult conflicts, or will her own story take an unexpected turn? These are the kinds of questions that make each episode feel essential. Ava has always been a fighter, someone who refuses to abandon those she cares about, no matter the cost. Her willingness to shield Ethan, even after his startling confession about Phoebe, speaks volumes about the complex bond they share. In my view, this protective instinct is not just about loyalty. It reflects years of shared history and hard-earned trust in a town where alliances shift like the wind. I believe this new adjustment in their dynamic is setting the stage for some of the most emotionally charged scenes we have seen in recent years. As Ava works to safeguard him, she is also quietly reshaping the narrative around Phoebe's parentage, creating layers of suspense that keep me eagerly anticipating each new development. Yet, what truly has me concerned and honestly quite fascinated is the moment Ava appears ready to alter the results of the DNA test. This is a bold and dangerous step, one that could prove to be the spark for an entirely new disaster. I have watched Ava bend rules before, when she feels it is necessary. But tampering with something as definitive as DNA evidence feels like crossing a line that may bring consequences none of us can fully predict. From my perspective as a longtime fan, this decision highlights both her fierce love and her willingness to risk everything. It proves that her desire to protect Ethan runs deeper than we realized, but it also opens the door to chaos that could engulf not just them, but others in Port Charles as well. Imagine the tension if the altered results somehow become public or fall into the wrong hands. I keep asking myself how far Ava will go to maintain this protection. Will her actions ultimately save Ethan, or will they create irreversible damage that forces him to face even greater threats? These questions swirl in my mind because the show has taught me over the years that good intentions in Port Charles often lead to explosive outcomes. The new adjustment we are witnessing feels like a turning point, where Ava's protective nature collides with the harsh reality of secrets and lies. It is both heartbreaking and exhilarating to watch. I have my own thoughts on why Ava might choose this path. Perhaps after everything she has endured, she sees protecting Ethan as a way to redeem past mistakes or to build something more stable for Phoebe. Whatever her reasons, this readiness to change the DNA results signals a looming catastrophe that could ripple through the entire community. I worry about the real father of Phoebe entering the picture at the worst possible time, especially if Ethan's past comes calling and demands his departure from town. Ava's efforts to shield him may only delay the inevitable, creating more drama and emotional stakes that we loyal viewers live for. What strikes me most is how this storyline honors the rich history of General Hospital while introducing fresh surprises. Ava's protective resolve adds such humanity to her character, reminding me why I have followed her journey for so long. At the same time, the potential disaster brewing from the tampered test results keeps the tension high. I can already sense the summer episodes building toward powerful confrontations and revelations that will leave us all talking. Will Ava's plan succeed in protecting Ethan, or will it unravel in spectacular fashion? Only time will tell, but I trust the writers to deliver a story that feels both surprising and true to these beloved characters. In many ways, this chapter feels like a love letter to longtime fans who appreciate slow-burning drama mixed with sudden shocks. Ava's story reminds us that protection often comes with sacrifice, and sometimes those sacrifices lead to the very disasters we fear. I find myself rooting for her even as I brace for the fallout. The new adjustments in their relationship, combined with her willingness to alter the DNA evidence, create a narrative that pulses with energy and possibility. It is the kind of storytelling that makes General Hospital so special after all these years.